These are the 10 reasons why 80% of people who lose weight gain it all back. My girls, however, don't gain the weight back. How? Because they do everything I talk about in this video. Reason number one, you gain all of the weight back. You do not eat enough protein. And let's clear the air. No, protein is not just for bodybuilders, regardless if your goal is to lose weight, get toned, be stronger, have curves. Eating enough protein is the only way you're going to build and maintain your muscle mass. And I get asked all the time, Nicole, why do I care about muscle when my goal is weight loss? Fire question. Let's dive in. Everything about weight loss, fat loss becomes easier when you add more muscle to your frame. Muscle is the key to longevity. Muscle is the key to health. Muscle is the key to aging. Muscle is the key to a banging body that you feel damn good and naked. Muscle is the key to combating falls, breaks, tears, osteoporosis. Muscle is also the key to a metabolism that is on motherfucking fire. And your metabolism is an accumulation of a lot of different things, but it's basically the amount of calories that your body burns every single day. So the goal should be a metabolism that's working for you, not against you. And on the subject of metabolism, let's chat about how eating more protein increases your thermic effect of food. Thermic effect of food, or TEF for short, is basically the energy and processes that your body uses to digest the food you eat. And out of all the macros, protein, carbs, fat, protein has the highest TEF, meaning it takes more energy just for your body to break it down. So you're burning more calories simply eating more protein. Talk about a little added bonus for your metabolism. Can we also talk about the fact that eating more protein is going to help keep your belly happy and satiated, which makes fat loss 10 times fucking easier? Because let's be real, if you're somebody who's always hungry, chances are you're snacking on things that aren't helping your goals. Protein keeps you fuller for longer, and if you're not raw to this, your cravings are under control. So instead of being miserable and constantly feeling like you're fighting off hunger, protein's gonna help you stay on track without the struggle. So to wrap this all up in a pretty pink bow, eating enough protein at bare minimum sustains and maintains your muscle mass. The more muscle you have to your frame, the higher your metabolism. The higher your metabolism, the easier weight loss becomes. Which leads me right into reason number two as to why you can lose the weight but gain it all back. You don't have enough muscle tissue. Muscle is what we call metabolically active, which basically means it burns calories just to exist. Your body has to work to maintain it, which costs energy, aka calories. So the more muscle you have, the more calories your body burns at rest. Scrolling TikTok, watching YouTube. It's a Netflix and chill every single day kind of day. Your body needs X amount of calories just to function. Think of muscle as an internal calorie burning machine. And for the love of all things holy, we are going into 2025. Can we please give up this whole idea that muscle makes you bulky? Getting bulky from lifting weights is about as likely as winning the lottery without buying a fucking ticket. It's not going to happen. Bulky equals muscle with body fat on top of muscle, just as much as toned equals muscle with a low enough body percent fat that you can see said muscle. I can tell you right now, if your goal is toned, aka the bangin' body that you feel damn good and naked, ladies, I need you lifting heavy shit multiple times a week and putting that heavy shit back down. Adding muscle to your frame is the only way you're gonna achieve that look that you're going for. Check out my girl Kayla. She looks strong, she looks fit, she looks toned, she looks anything but bulky. Or Justine, this babe carries a ton of muscle to her frame and she has that toned look that you all swoon over. Or Lynn, another perfect example as to where muscle can make you look lean and athletic, not big or bulky. And of course, I'm gonna use real life photos of myself, as adding muscle to my frame was the only way I was able to achieve my dream body. If every single one of you watching this could give me a fraction of the energy, I mean, humor me here, give me 10% of the energy that you spent hyperfixating on chasing a lower number on the scale and pour that into how can I get stronger, 90% of your fat loss problems would be solved. Let's take a second to talk about TDEE, total daily energy expenditure, which is a fancy way of saying the amount of calories that your body burns every single day. Now that you understand what TDEE is, let's look at the pyramid that shows us how our bodies burn calories. At the foundation and the biggest chunk of how your body burns calories comes from your BMR, your basal metabolic rate, bare minimum requirement. This is the amount of calories that your body burns every single day at rest doing absolutely nothing. Spoiler alert, this means you don't need to earn your fucking food. So your BMR is the amount of calories that's already predetermined every single day that you open your eyes that you're going to burn. Your BMR is impacted by how much muscle you have on your frame. You get where I'm going at here. So to make fat loss feel fucking effortless, your goal should be to increase your BMR. And we do that by adding muscle to our frame. Your BMR accounts for 65 to 70% of your daily calories burned. On top of your BMR is your NEAT, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, and this accounts for about 20% of your daily calorie burn. I want you to think about your NEAT as everything outside of the gym. Walking, cleaning the house, gardening, fidgeting. On top of your NEAT, we have your TEF, which again is your thermic effect of food, which accounts for about 5% of your daily calorie burn. And this is exactly why we want to add more protein to our diet. And on top of your TEF, we have your EAT, which is your exercise activity thermogenesis, which accounts for about 5% of your daily calorie burn. And this is exactly why I say we don't exercise to burn calories. We train to get stronger. We train to change the way that our body looks. Which leads me right into reason number 3 as to why you lose the weight and gain it all back. You prioritize cardio over living an active lifestyle. And what I mean by that is you pour all of your energy, all of your eggs into the 1 hour a day that you're working out, and you don't prioritize the other 23 hours of the day. But please don't twist what I'm saying. I'm not saying that cardio is bad. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do cardio. But if you're relying on that 1 hour a day to carry your whole day, you're going to end up really frustrated. As mentioned in reason number 2, your NEAT, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, accounts for 20% of your daily calories burned. Your EAT, your exercise activity thermogenesis, accounts for 5% of your daily calorie burn. I mean, so call me crazy here, but wouldn't it make sense to put more energy and effort into the bigger rocks that are going to move your needle forward? And this is a massive missed opportunity on your end. I will die on this hill, but one of the biggest levers that we have to pull when it comes to losing the weight and actually keeping it off is walking. It is completely free, and anybody who is physically capable can do so. I need you to prioritize the out of it. On top of walking, let's chat about 3 easy things that you can incorporate to boost your activity level throughout the day. Number 1, take the fucking stairs. It might sound cliche, but skipping the elevator and opting for the stairs adds up over time. Number 2, and this is helpful for those who have sedentary jobs, but set a timer to stand and stretch. Every 30 minutes, get up, stand, stretch, do a few air squats, take a lap around the building, anything to break up long periods of sitting. And last but not least, number 3, do chores with purpose and make it as fun as cleaning a toilet can be. Get creative, dance around, give yourself little mini challenges, but get your body moving more. And while these things may seem small, this shit adds up. Do not be the person who overlooks them. Which leads me into reason number 4 as to why you lose the weight and gain it all back. You don't understand what maintenance looks like. And I know you're probably thinking, Nicole, why the fuck do I care about maintenance calories if my goals are fat loss? But let me explain. First, let me explain maintenance for those who may not understand what I'm talking about. Maintenance calories are the amount of calories that you need to eat to sustain and maintain your current body weight. So you're fueling yourself enough to keep up with daily life without gaining or losing weight. So why does this matter for fat loss? Well, understanding what your maintenance calories are allows you to stop guessing. So many of you are throwing shit at a wall, praying that it sticks. If you have a solid baseline to start from, you're not just randomly slashing calories and hoping for the best. So that means you don't have to take calories to dog shit low amounts, 1,200 calories, to lose weight. So let's say your maintenance calories are 2,200 calories. That means you could start dieting on 1,900 calories and see results. And let's call out the big fucking elephant in the room. How much more likely are you to actually stay consistent eating 1,900 calories, not 1,200 calories? The amount of women who try to convince me that they're only eating 1,200 calories a day and not losing weight, well, they're dieting mentally, they're not dieting physically. Let me explain. What that usually means is 1,200 calories Monday through Thursday. Chicken, kale, #health. When you're in your schedule, you're in your routine. Friday rolls around, you're hangry, you're miserable. Your body's quite literally screaming at you because you've starved it all week. You put yourself in and around food. You can't control yourself. And while you eat like an asshole, you want to be able to enjoy yourself over the weekends, have a social life, as you freaking should. But starving yourself all week to go balls to the wall over the weekend has thrown you out of a calorie deficit for the entire freaking week. Hence the whole dieting mentally, not dieting physically. And to be honest, this is the most frustrating space to be in because the majority of the time you're doing the damn thing, but you're reaping zero zilch nada ROI in return. Give yourself a deficit that you can actually stay consistent to and watch your body start responding. So how do you figure out your maintenance calories? Well, there's a super simple tool called a TDEE calculator, and luckily for you, I created one. I'm gonna link the calculator in the description of this video. You are gonna fill out the form and I'll email you the results. But please make sure to check your spam folder. I will also send you a week's worth of emails with fire information on how to create a calorie deficit, how to track accurately, and how to work through the mental battle of what a calorie deficit can be. Basically everything that you need to know to be successful. Which leads me right into reason number 5 as to why you lose the weight and gain it all back. You refuse to educate yourself. And I know this may be triggering for some, but before you click away, hear me out, because this may be the one thing that finally breaks the cycle for you. If you're constantly chasing the next quick fix diet or magic plan that's gonna change everything for you, but you're not willing to learn a thing about your body, your nutrition, what's really keeping you stuck, that's exactly why you keep finding yourself right back where you started. It's like trying to build a house on sand. You're slapping layers, hoping that it holds, but underneath there's nothing firm to stand on. And let's be real, if you're not willing to dig in and understand why things haven't worked, if you're always looking for the easy way out that doesn't ask you to think or get honest with yourself, you are setting yourself up for a lifetime of frustration. Quick fixes might give you quick results, but they'll never give you the knowledge or confidence you need to keep those results. Without the foundation, you're gonna be stuck in this vicious cycle of always starting over and never moving forward. You want a generic plan? Well, because it's easy. The checklist doesn't require you to think. Keto, cut out carbs, intermittent fasting, only eat within the magical window, Optavia, just follow this meal plan. But again, those generic plans don't require you to actually learn anything about your body and what it really needs. The generic plan might feel convenient, but it doesn't require you to dig in as to why you're really stuck. You're not addressing your relationship with food, how many calories you're really consuming, what it really takes to fuel your body. You're definitely not addressing the habits and the mindset that got you in the place that has kept you stuck for so long. You're putting a band-aid fix on an open wound that's fucking hemorrhaging. The real work comes in getting honest with yourself. When you refuse to educate yourself, you refuse to get honest with yourself. And that's what these quick fix plans avoid. They keep you from having to face the deeper stuff. Things like tracking your intake, understanding your habits, cultivating values that align with your goals, and looking deeper at your relationship with food and yourself. And I can tell you right now, if you're not willing to look at these things, like why do you always turn to food for comfort? Or why do you always bounce from one diet to the next? Then no diet will ever help. Weight loss never has and never will come from a fucking meal plan. It comes from a deeper understanding of what's really keeping you stuck. And that's why we're so fucking successful on my team. We pull the weed out by the root. Bottom line, as much as it may sting, refusing to educate yourself is choosing to stay stuck. Education is what takes you from needing a diet to actually living in a way that supports your goals. And that absolutely doesn't require perfection. Perfection is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It doesn't fucking exist, but it does take you cultivating values that are in alignment with your goals. Which leads me to reason number 6 as to why you lose the weight and gain it all back. Your all or nothing mindset produces all or nothing results. Let's get honest, you're either doing everything right or you're doing nothing at all, because why even bother if I can't be perfect, right? Your all or nothing mindset is draining you in the process. Progress doesn't care about perfection. Making real change isn't about doing things perfectly, it's about doing things when you don't feel ready. Didn't get the full workout in? Well, do what you can with the time that you have. Missed meal prep? Well, make the best choice in the moment. Progress loves consistency, not perfection. And this may sting, but your perfectionism is just procrastination in disguise. Perfectionism whispers, wait for the perfect time. But let's call it out. That's just procrastination in a really fucking fancy outfit. The longer you wait for perfect conditions, the longer you stay exactly where you are. Messy action builds real confidence. Every time you take action, even if it's messy, you build trust in yourself. You prove that you're capable of making decisions and adapt as you go. And as you start to stack wins, it reminds you that perfectionism isn't a prerequisite for success. Which leads me into reason number 7 as to why you lose the weight and gain it all back. You still have this fucked up mentality that there's good food and bad foods. Labeling might sound like it's helping to keep you disciplined, but it's actually doing the opposite. The black and white mindset creates this huge mental struggle around food. You're either on track and you're eating good food, or you fucked up and you've eaten something bad and you've gone off the rails. It's fucking exhausting, and it's keeping you in this vicious cycle of guilt and restriction. And this is exactly what's keeping you from making progress, because when you label foods as bad, you restrict them. And then what happens? You start craving them even more, and then when you finally give in, well, that leads to your binge. Here's what I want you to take away from this. Food is just food. It doesn't have moral value. It's not good and it's not bad. Different foods serve different purposes, and they can all have a place in your life without derailing your success. Some foods are more nutrient dense and they fuel your body. Yes, other foods are less nutrient dense and they fuel your soul. And guess what? You need both. That's what creates sustainability. That's what creates fucking lifestyle. I don't want to know a life without cookies or pasta or potatoes or pizza, and you shouldn't either. And let's be honest, this all or nothing mindset, it's holding you back. When you live a life of good food versus bad foods, you're either all in or you're all out. And I promise you, until you put yourself in the driver's seat where you control food and food no longer controls you, you will continue to stay stuck. Which leads me into reason number 8 as to why you lose the weight and gain it all back. You don't have the metabolism that you had in your 20s. But I want to clarify, it's not because it magically broke with age. It's not age that caused your metabolism to slow down, it's your lifestyle. Most tend to move less, stress more, not prioritizing strength training, and absolutely not prioritizing nutrition. All of these things have a massive impact on how your metabolism functions. Your metabolism slowing down is everything that we've been talking about in the last few points. You're living in extremes, constantly dieting, skipping meals, avoiding strength training. Your body's going to respond by slowing down. So no, your metabolism isn't broken because you're older. It's responding to how you've treated it. So let's chat about some ways to upregulate your metabolism to get that bad boy working for you again. Strength training, eating enough protein, stop fucking dieting, and moving more throughout the day. And yes, it really can be that simple, but I do understand that simple isn't always easy. But if you want to feel good again, you want a body that's thriving, these 4 things are the missing link to your success. Which leads me into reason number 9 as to why you lose the weight and gain it all back. But Nicole, my hormones. Here's the thing. A lot of you are struggling with hormones that are not optimized. Your thyroid's off, your estrogen is high, or you're dealing with cortisol spikes. And yes, those things matter, but blaming your hormones as the only reason as to why you can't lose weight, well, it's a trap, and it's keeping you from seeing the bigger picture. Hormones play a role, but they're not the sole reason for weight gain or difficulty losing weight. And I will die on this hill. Optimal, not normal, but optimal hormones drive our success. But there is no better way to optimize hormones than lifestyle. However, ladies, menopause is hormone deficiency, and at some point these hormones will need to be replaced. If you want to look and feel as good as you did in your 20s and 30s, you need the hormones you had in your 20s and 30s. Hormones impact how you feel, and when you feel good, your body wants to do the fucking thing. Hormones will not lift weights for you, eat protein for you, give you an understanding of your overall calorie intake. And those 3 things drive the show when it comes to fat loss. Think of it like this. Your hormones are the engine and your lifestyle choices are the fuel. And if you're putting in the wrong fuel, well, the engine isn't going to run smoothly. And when you give your engine the right fuel, it lives a much longer life. Which leads me into reason number 10 as to why you lose the weight and gain it all back. What do optimal hormones look like? Click here where I talk about this in depth.